Amazon Delivery Service Partners are hiring full-time delivery drivers to meet growing customer demand. Receive compensation of at least $20 per hour at select stations, plus benefits and a sign-on bonus of $1,000 from participating DSPs if you apply now. No delivery experience required. Must be 21 years or older. Terms apply. Apply today at amazon.com/driver. That's amazon.com/driver.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
This is 321 The Pod.
Wow, that's some high level audio there for such a good podcast, huh? There, Eric.
I know. Did you get a professional to do all of that, or did you do it yourself? Oh wait, you are a professional.
I am. I actually stand on the corner every night because I can't afford to get a real job at me anymore, honestly.
There's an old joke that I used to love about that was a husband and wife are down on hard times, and they just said, we're out of work, we can't pay our mortgage, what are we gonna do? And she goes, well, I guess I could finally go, I could go out and sleep with men for money. That's how we could pay. And reluctantly they do so. And so she goes out and she comes back and her head's down low, and he goes, well, how did it go, honey? She goes, well, I got $15.25. He goes, 25 cents? What asshole gave you 25 cents? She goes, all of them. Anyways.
Wow, you know what? That needs to be updated to like an OnlyFans kind of joke. You got to figure that out because
okay, yeah,
it has to be, because that had to be before the internet. She could have just put her feet out there and probably got a whole bunch of hits and money for that.
Yeah, I just like that she slept with men for 25 cents a piece, and that's what they all gave her.
Yeah, that is quite funny. Hey, I'm Chris Donovan. This is 321 The Pod. 3 stories, 2 idiots. That's me and him, and one game. The game we're going to play this week is so much fun. It's called Name That Broadcaster. I'm excited. But before we get into all that, we got to get into our first story.
Story one,
in no particular order. I mean, I'm not saying that this is the best story, or am I? No,
well,
I'm not.
There's one in the title. I think that's why I put it as one.
No, I know. No, this one is just one that keeps I've been laughing at. So, Chris, we've played golf enough to where if you go to a golf course, especially a nice one, they'll sometimes have like a car parked near the green, and it's a hole-in-one contest. Win this car.
Usually for tournaments and stuff. Yeah.
Tournament or sometimes a charity. It's a we've all had the buy the bucket, buy the ball, and you put your name on it, and then they drop it from a helicopter, and if it lands in the hole, you win a truck. I mean, there's always these types of things. Well, you might want to think twice after joining one of those after you listen to this story. So this takes place in a place called Arkansas. It's a mystical land far. Oh, I'm just being told it's actually Arkansas, and it's an existing state in the United States. Okay. Well, anyways, so here's a controversy. This week, a man named Austin Clagett
he lives in Arkansas.
Yeah, he does, right? What family are you from? I'm from the Clagett family, motherfucker.
You live down there by the Smiths.
No, we're a Clagett fan up here. So Austin played in the club's Tournament of the Century on Saturday, which was a 3-person scramble format with a buy-in of $375. So not a cheap tournament by any means.
That's a very pretentious name.
Yeah, it really is, right? Before the tournament, the country club promoted a 2022 Ford F-150 4x4 Super Crew, a nice truck, by the way, as a prize for the first person that hits a hole-in-one on the course's 10th hole. That truck had a sticker price of $54K and was donated by the nearby Ford dealership J. Hodge Ford of Morriltown, Arkansas. So far, so good, right? We understand this is premise. We've all seen this at a million different charity events or tournament events.
And this is in Morriltown,
because they got morals. Hey, the Clagett family has morals. You hear what I'm saying? I don't marry my sister without asking my brother first. Anyways, so here's where the problems start, though. Against all odds, this guy Clagett went out and aced the 10th hole. And according to reports, because there was multiple witnesses, this isn't just like he was doing it on his own and said, yeah, I totally hit a hole in one. Multiple witnesses, it was clean. It wasn't a provisional shot. It didn't happen out of turn. It was a letter of the law, legit hole in one. So he went to go claim his new ride after the round, except for the country club won't give him the keys. So he did what everyone in America does when you've been wronged.
Oh, God.
He hired an attorney, but I kind of don't blame him. I mean, you know, you kind of need to get a lawyer involved. So it says, this is about doing what's right. Mr. Clagett lived up to his end of the deal when he got the hole in one, and the J. Hodge Ford Company and the country club want to crawfish out of the deal. I don't understand that term. Is that a Southern Arkansas thing? Crawfishing out of a deal?
Is that like,
that doesn't seem like
updated?
That doesn't seem like
Indian
lawyer
kind of
speak, though. That doesn't seem like a lawyer shouldn't use the word crawfishing as like a
crawfish out of a deal. I mean, do they just crawl away and just like wither away?
I think slither away. I think he's trying to, but doesn't that sound like a New York lawyer trying to sound like he's Southern? Like it's like that My Cousin Vinny, like he comes down, he's like, y'all trying to crawfish out of the deal? You know, it just sounds like someone trying to be Southern.
The two Utes.
Yeah, the two Utes. That's right. So
okay, that's okay.
So it says J. Hodge Ford says they were unable to. So this is where I think they ran into the problem. So J. Hodge Ford, the dealership, said they were unable to secure the necessary insurance for the vehicle in time because they believed the vehicle was for display purposes only, not an actual giveaway. Without their knowledge, the country club promoted the pickup as a hole-in-one prize, perhaps thinking that no one would actually make a hole-in-one, and it has now backfired. So here's what happens. They ask the local Ford dealership, hey, we'll promote one of your cars, give it to us as like a loaner, but then they tell everyone it's for a hole-in-one that they didn't think anyone would hit. Someone hits it, and now because the dealership never got the insurance, because I've had to do a couple of these in my industry, the alcohol industry, where I've done like these big giveaways, and you get an insurance. So let's say I have $10,000 worth of product. You get that insured and you pay an insurance company, you know, $800 or whatever, and they keep that money no matter what. And if no one wins that prize, you get the prize back, but they get to keep your $800. And if someone wins it, they pay off the prize. So that's how all these truck things and giveaways, by the way, work. It's insurance paying you, not the dealership. So, but the dealership didn't know they were giving away the car.
Oh my God, they didn't know how the heck. I mean, I've been to many tournaments, not as many as a lot of people, but quite a few actually. Nobody ever hits the hole in one. I am so happy to hear this because I want this to happen when I'm at.
I know, right? But like, okay, now I want to put myself inside the head of the head of like the country club who made that decision. Who's like, think about it. He's like, well, I mean, we don't want to pay the $1,000 to insure this thing. Or maybe it's more than that. Maybe because this car is expensive. Maybe it's like $2,000 or $3,000. Times are tight. Maybe they're like, guys, what if we just don't insure it? You know, someone had to make that decision. They can't just claim this is an accident, right?
No, I think somebody from the country club was like, you know what? I'll just have my cousin bring over a truck and just set it here. Nobody's gonna hit it. Nobody's gonna. It's just gonna be for display. He'll just bring one of his best trucks. He'll get some advertising out of it. Nobody will hit the hole in one. We'll have a car there. It'll be great. Oh, that guy got fired, man.
And I want to know, because this is obviously a tournament, so there's a bunch of God, what do they call the person that's like the enforcer? The marshal. You know, they're putting marshals around all that, probably enforcing rules, making sure people do this. What was that conversation like when the person who made the decision to not insure it and kind of scam everyone found out, hey, did you hear Mr. What's his name? The one I was just making fun of, whatever his name is. Clagett, Mr. Clagett or whatever. Hey, did you hear Clagett over there hit a hole in one? I mean, did that person's stomach just sink and go, oh shit?
Yeah, the next thing you heard was him getting in his truck and driving away.
Yeah, insert car noise here, right? Like he's peeling out like a cartoon because, or I almost want to picture him like running and jumping on the truck and like peeling out on the green and driving away in that truck or something. But
he's calling his cousin going, hey dude, we got a problem here, man.
No one messes with the Clagett. I actually, so I'm not, I don't like litigious stuff. I don't like it when people hire lawyers at the drop of a hat, but honestly, this guy has a legit beef. He did something that was very difficult. He did it legit and in front of a lot of people. They claimed they were going to give him something and now they want to back out. I think he probably has a pretty good case here. And I actually think they should throw in something extra, right? Like maybe instead of that version of the truck, you get the even more expensive version of the truck. That's like with
Is
all
there a
the
more
extras.
expensive version of the truck?
Yeah, they go up to almost 70 grand for some of
Cheese
the
and rice. What the? Wow. Okay. So I have a couple questions. Did they tell you how many people actually saw him hit it in, or was it just his foursome and then they just all like went in on it and be like, no, we all saw it, he was there, and then they told
No,
me
when I watched the news, because the local news from that area did a story on it, they said that it was witnessed by not only the four that were in the foursome, but it was also witnessed by the opposite four, like so the people they're playing against, and people that were on another hole, because the holes like line up. So people on multiple holes, including the opposing team, all witnessed it.
That's why you should have a marshal sitting there that's not drinking.
well, there you go. That's not gonna happen. But you got to remember though, too, like,
he's got a story.
Yeah, he's got a story, and at the end, I think he's gonna have a truck too, because at some point, someone from that Ford dealership, they're probably getting a lot of bad press off of this. Even though I don't really blame them, they were probably duped by the country club. But like at some point, this Ford dealership's like, Jesus, man, times are tough. It's hard enough to run a dealership as it is. Just let's work out some sort of promotional something or other so that we can like save some face here. And let's just
they're going to give him the
car.
truck is what they're going to do. And he's probably going to sue and not have to pay for any of the taxes that he probably would have had to pay for him.
They're going to have to say, sir, we're going to have to meet in the middle on this one. So yes, we will give you a car, but it's going to be the Ford Fiesta.
Oh God, I had to turn one of those back in. It didn't have any balls. It got recalled. It was almost killed me twice, man. It was nuts. So, well, that's fun. Hole in one, story number one. Let's get into this.
Story 2.
All right. So the Radio Hall of Fame 2022 inductees were inducted into the Hall of Fame about 10 days ago. We got Broadway, Bobby Lee, Bill Lee. A lot of people don't know these people. So Carol Miller, she's radio personality, Chris Mad Dog Russo, Ellen Kay, who actually works with my wife in Los Angeles.
I know Ellen Kay, yeah.
Jeff Smulyan, don't know.
You're making that name up.
Lon Helton, Marv Dyson, Susan, blah, 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 Walt Baby Love. See, now all these people were inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame.
Wait, his name is literally Baby Love?
Well, it's his radio name. It's Walt Baby Love.
Yeah, but they're all.
I'm sorry.
I that kind of threw me because I don't know if like
Gospel.
You know how they call Magic Johnson, like people yell, "Hey, Magic over here," that kind of thing. Are they people like baby, please, baby love? It just reminds me of Eddie Murphy stand-up routine, like from Raw.
Well, it's pretty close because he does gospel, so that's probably why you thinking that, because he probably does have like, "Oh, baby, more," down for people in the pews and stuff. But
okay, so yeah, that's the class. I recognized a few of those names.
Yeah, there's not a ton of people that will recognize a lot of the names, but to give some people ideas of people in the past that have been in there, you've got people like Tom Donahue, Don Imus, Howard Stern, even Ryan Seacrest is in there. You got Wendy Williams, Rick Dees, Dick Clark, Dick Enberg, a lot of
dicks. No, that's right. You already mentioned Ryan Seacrest. Anyways,
hey, that was 3 in a row. Hey, what do you know? So there's a lot of people up in there. She said. I just honestly, I'm looking at this list, and this is me being in radio. Does anybody care?
I think so. I mean, well, there was that golden age of radio, right? Where I think when you're in what's that guy's name that they have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame after? The legendary DJ who played rock and roll for the first time, Alan Freed from Cleveland, or Wolfman Jack, or Howard Stern, or Don Imus. Like when the golden age of radio up until I want to say at least the early-ish 2000s.
When I started getting into it, yeah,
when you got into it, people really cared. But I think now, I mean, so many of these stations are moving to a format where they don't value the DJs like they used to. So it's like kind of hard. Like, how do you get into the Radio Hall of Fame when I don't think the stations allow their people to have personalities or stand out? Like you're almost like another number that's replaceable the way they treat you nowadays.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at this list and I'm thinking, okay, well, this is not going to be able to go much farther. You know what I mean? There's going to only be 2 or 3 people doing radio anywhere nowadays. There are some programs though that got inducted back in the day, like the Breakfast Club, All Things Considered. Mark and Brian, Kevin and Bean,
Prairie Home Companion, I know, was like the big
Bob
ones
and
that ran
Tom.
forever. Bob and Tom.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this: do you think, with how everything's fading a little bit, radio fades in popularity?
Yeah.
It's like newspaper Hall of Fame, right? Like, doesn't even give a shit about that. So,
is there such a
but
thing?
does that make? Yeah, there is. Does that make it easier though to get into the Hall of Fame with radio? Because now there's not a million people that you're competing against. There's like 4 good
7.
ones.
Yeah, but also it's not fair. It's like the people that hit all those home runs back in the 30s in baseball. Yeah, they didn't have steroids and enhancers in the programs they have now, but they still hit that many home runs. Plus the pitchers didn't throw 1,000 miles an hour. So there's always these variations where it's like, okay, well, they were inducted into the Radio Hall of Fame when radio was huge, like Bob Hope or something, when there was thousands of radio shows and that was pretty much it. But now you've got, Kevin and Bean. I know them because they're Southern California, a little bit of Arizona and Vegas up in there, but that's it. Nobody that wasn't West Coaster over here would know who they were.
Yeah, and it's very regional, right? Yeah, you're exactly right. But and now, do you think that this would start being? Do you think they consider what do they call it? Extraterrestrial radio? Do they consider that for the Radio Hall of Fame? Will like someone from Sirius XM make it on there in the future because that's how people listen to radio now? Or will it be podcasters who have?
Well, I just looked at the 2022 Hall of Fame podcasters that were honored. This is real. They took a break from 2018. This is actually a website. Mark Maron, of course, you know who that is.
Yep.
Everybody knows he's the only one that got the president when he was president.
Mm-hmm.
Emily Morris, I know her. She's Sex with Emily. She's awesome. She's in all sorts of everything.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's her. Yeah,
I don't know any of these other people yet, so I'm wondering if they're going to start merging these two things, or if it matters at all anymore. Like a lot of these things, I'm going to give shouts out to AMAs were actually announced today. Beyonce, Drake, Taylor Swift, and Bad Bunny all leading the nominations. But again, American Music Awards.
Yeah.
Like, where are they listening to the music at? You obviously know which bands are being heard more because it's online. I don't know. I'm just trying to justify staying in my career.
Well, I would say that it still is relevant enough that people care about it, but unfortunately it's turning more into a niche industry. Whereas 20 years ago, if you were on radio, I mean, dude, I don't want to say a star, but you were like a prominent person. Like you'd be like, oh man, that's the DJ of the LA station or
Dick
whatever,
Clark.
Rick Dees or Dick Clark. But I think now not because the talent is less, there's obviously good talented people out there that do radio, but I don't think you're promoted by the stations used to have. And by the way, DJs and radio personalities, they got to choose the songs that they played back in the, like that was common. So you could listen to us. Oh, I really like listening to Sluggo on K-Rock because he plays things with more edgy, or I like listening to Wolfman because he's the one playing all those new rock and roll records in the 50s. Like people would be able to play what they want. Nowadays, everything's pre-programmed. You don't get a say in what you play, and then they repeat the same 20 songs over and over again. I think the management and the people who run the stations are the ones responsible for it not being as important as it is.
I agree with you. And with that being said, lots of stations and business companies that run radio right now don't have management in place, and that's the reason why. So I can tell you that by firsthand knowledge. So anyway, that's mine.
You know what you should do for your wife though? You should copy that webpage of the inductees and then insert like her picture and like make all the graphics look like it's the same. And
there are no graphics. It's straight up background is white.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. But like make it look like that and then see if you could like punk her and be like, honey, look at what just came out today, the inductions or the nominees or whatever, and then scroll through and go, oh my God, you're on here, just to see if you can get her.
I'm going to try. I think I tried to nominate her, but it didn't work out.
Hey man.
Anyway, all right,
you get your wife nominated for a Hall of Fame. I guarantee you it's fun, sexy time in the bedroom.
Oh yeah, it will be. And
like
she'll be like,
nominate me, baby, nominate me.
Are you done?
I'm not done because she's talking to that pastor radio guy, the baby guy.
Baby?
Talk to me, baby. That's what she be doing.
You know, that's probably how he talks.
Story
Oh.
3.
All right, let's get
All
into the
right.
story.
Story 3, because I lied when I said that first story about the hole-in-one was my favorite story, because this is officially my favorite story. Because Chris, you know, in the past few years, the world of sport has been rocked by cheating scandals, right? I mean, we all remember Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire and
Inflategate with Tom Brady.
Inflategate with Tom Brady. Which, by the way, I never understood that as a cheating scandal. He wanted it one more PSI than what was allowed. Whatever. That one I actually never bought into, but I get it. It was all scandals, and you got Deflategate, and you got the Houston Astros, which were banging a trash drum. And by the way, everyone says banging the trash drum, but they were also using electronic signals on their body that would buzz so many times, telling you what pitch it was. I mean, they were like huge cheaters. The Yankees were caught using Apple watches to relay stuff from the stand. I mean, lots of scandal in sports, and you thought certain sports would be safe from a cheating scandal. Like, for instance, when you're bored at 2 a.m. on a Saturday and you can't sleep and you're watching ESPN The Ocho and they have a fishing show on there and they have a fishing show, you think, oh, this is pretty calm. Just a bunch of dudes fishing, probably drinking some beers. And at the end, they weigh the fishes to see who won. Can't be complicated. You can't cheat for that. Au contraire, mon frere, because in Cleveland, Ohio, 2 men are now facing criminal charges following their roles in the Lake Erie Walleye Trail Tournament scandal that happened last month. So a walleye is a type of fish, in case you didn't know. 42-year-old Jacob Runyon and 35-year-old Chase Comiskey had been indicted on the following charges after placing weights and fish fillets inside their catch. So get this. They dropped those little lead weights into the fish to make the fish way heavier. But not just that, they shoved fillets of other fish into the fish to add weight to it as well. So people caught this on. Good.
I wonder how many times they had to explain the large words to them. Controversy. Indictment. Like they were like, "Ho, slow down. We catch fish." What? Anyway.
So I did a little research on this because I wanted to know like some of the details, and a lot of the news reports didn't do a ton of good reporting on the details. So the total prize, by the way, for first place is $28,750.
Son of a bitch! What am I doing in my industry?
Right, that's my point. Right, like, so okay, now I understand why. By the way, I personally thought it was gonna be like a $1,500 first place prize or something, but no, $28,760 was first place prize.
Wait, hold on. They couldn't count up 20. What?
I know, right? So they couldn't get $250 more or 1,250 to make it 30 even. Of course not. Or by the way, just make it 25,000 and donate 3,000 to charity. But whatever.
There you go.
Anyways,
charities.
So their fishes weighed in at around 31 pounds. Is what they had a couple of fish that weighed in at. Now, I wanted to find out. Okay, well, what's the difference of that from a normal weight? I mean, okay, 31 pounds. Does a normal fish that size weigh 30 pounds?
That's really heavy for a fish. It's probably a couple fish they added together.
Well, so here's the thing. The average, so other people that saw the fish before, this is how everything was caught. This is how they were busted. So you're around fishermen, right? These guys have been fishing all their lives. They can look at a fish from, a block away and go, yeah, that's probably 3 to 4 pound fish, right? They're not going to be off. These guys are trained professionals. They're not going to look and go, that's a 3 pound fish. And they get up to it and they weigh it and it's 10 pounds, right? They're not going to be off by that much. So they looked at this guy's catch and thought it should weigh around 20 to 22 pounds. That was the estimate. And then it comes in 31 pounds.
Damn, okay.
So it's way off. So people started going, what's going on? Well, one of the other competing fishermen went over there and sliced open the man's fish and found a bunch of weights and fillets inside. And then a lot of yelling ensued. Why don't you go ahead and play the clip?
Here we go! Out of here!
Wow.
Where's the other one?
Listen to them say,
Where's the other one?
That's fucking death, motherfucker. Call the fucking cops. Everybody listen to me right now. Jake, I want you to leave. I don't want anybody to touch these guys. I want you to leave.
I don't want anyone to touch these guys because they were going to like string him up like a fish. I mean, they were.
Yeah, they're cutting another one open right now. Oh, look at them all yelling, man. Look at all the weights and stuff they're pulling out. Oh, those are big weights too.
Those are big weights. That's my thing. Okay, so here's the thing: if you're gonna cheat, like, okay, Barry Bonds got caught because his head started getting 3 sizes bigger than it ever was, and his feet literally grew in size. If you ever read the book on that period of time with Barry Bonds was cheating, as a grown-ass man at 38 years old, his feet grew by 2 shoe sizes. So
that is nuts.
Like, that's insane, right? Like, that just doesn't happen. So there was a lot of other evidence. And the thing is, he cheated too much. You want to cheat just a little bit, right? Like, by the way, in order to win the tournament, I looked at what the second place finisher was.
I was going to say, is there even a second place? Could they do the math?
Yes. So it was 23 pounds and like a couple of ounces would have won the tournament.
Okay,
This guy went to 31.
Was there a second place prize?
I did not. Yeah, I'm sure there was, but they did.
Like $5.
I couldn't find that. Yeah, it's like, no, it's the other $250 missing dollars. That's what it is, which barely covers their beer budget for the day. But here's the thing, man. Guess what? If you guys would have just cheated a little bit, you wouldn't have been caught. You don't shove. You don't make the fish weigh 500 pounds. You go, listen, let's just cram a few in there to get to 25 pounds. Let's win this tournament and go home. No. They got greedy, man. They flew too close to the sun. They shoved it. And the other thing is, you're doing this with a bunch of other trained individuals who could look at something and see how much a fish weighs. They know how much a fish weighs. You're trying to fool them. If you put, I don't know anything about fishing. If you told me, see that fish over there? That weighs 31 pounds. I'd be like, all right, cool, man. I believe it. And it can be like, I could tell within a range. I know it doesn't weigh 200 pounds, but you could fool me. But if I'm a professional fisherman, you can't fool me. Why are you trying to? They cheated too much. You cheat little bits.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's like, I mean, they should have taken advice from that philosopher Dash from The Incredibles, where you don't win by a lot, you win just by a little, even though you can kill everyone by running really fast. Yeah, I think that's what he said, right? That little 5-year-old or however old he is.
I think that's exactly how.
But no, I was actually scrolling through Twitter while you were saying this. There's so many people pissed off and all the memes and stuff, and there's cops that actually showed up, and oh my god, like this is.
And I mean, knowing other fishermen and a bunch of drunk fishermen with a lot of testosterone, those guys, the fact that one guy who was running the tournament was like, guys, I don't want anyone to touch these guys, because I think that people thought they were.
I don't want anybody to touch these guys. I want you to leave. Tell the cops. It's them. You fucking bullshit.
There are so many people there with opinions that don't need to be talking right now.
I know, but everyone's really mad. Anyways, they're
mad. It smells like fish everywhere.
It smells like fish, and someone lost out on almost $29,000.
Yeah, right. Almost.
Almost. Yeah, almost. All right. Well, that's that story.
Now it's my turn to get into the game. It's called Name That Radio Broadcaster.
This is Name That Radio Broadcaster.
All right, because I am in the radio industry, well, for now at least, and the Radio Hall of Fame inductees are there for 2022. I came up with the name of this game. I'm going to play it one more time because it's so much fun.
This is Name That Radio Broadcaster.
He loves playing with the echo button.
I do. All right, so now I've been in radio a long time. I've made some slip-ups and stuff, and I've heard quotes, and this has to do with a little bit of both of those things, because there's been some really famous quotes said in the radio world, plus people have been let go and disposed of for saying certain things and or made a shit ton of money. So you don't necessarily know what kind of quote or what kind of, if it's a sports or radio, but I think you'll catch on once we go. This is the best 3 out of 5 because it is the MLB AL division series right now. I'm watching. Seattle's going to be playing Houston here in a few minutes. Best out of 5. You get 3 right, you win. You don't get 3 right, I win. All right, you ready?
I'm ready, man.
All right, so the first question or quote is, those are some nappy-headed hoes. Now, I want to say something real quick. These are quotes from other people.
It is not you saying it.
These are not me saying these. These are just me repeating words on the paper. Okay, this is multiple choice, but I'm going to say the quote one more time. Those are some nappy-headed hoes. Multiple choice. A, Casey Kasem. Casey Kasem.
This is Casey Kasem.
B, Rick Dees. C, Don Imus. Or D, Steve Harvey.
Okay, I remember this, so I know exactly the answer. It is Don Imus. And I gotta say, for all of the shit that's said on the radio, thank you for the ding. For all of the shit that's said on the radio, and also when you're on the radio for like 3 hours a day and you do that much talking, the fact that over like a 50-year career like he had, you could take one little clip of like the guy talks 3 hours a day for like 42 years, and you're mad at like 1 3-second thing that he said. But that was part one. So I didn't think it was really like he shouldn't have gotten fired for it. But second of all, he was talking about a group of he was talking about the women were ugly. He wasn't referring to their race. They spun it as, well, when he said nappy headed hoes, it was a racial thing. No, he was talking about them are some ugly girls, man. And I get it. Maybe it's not an appropriate thing, and maybe you shouldn't have been so cruel, but come on, man. I mean, I would have let that one slide.
Are you standing up for Don Imus right now?
I am, man. I thought it was a little aggressive that he got fired after a long career like that.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That comment. And by the way, if you look at the picture, the girls were ugly. I get it. It wasn't appropriate, but he wasn't saying something that was untrue.
He also shouldn't just say that.
Oh, no, he shouldn't have. But there's a difference between, hey, man, cut that out. Please don't do it, or apologize. And you're fired after a long and distinguished career. But radio does that, where they just fire you on the spot and you don't.
Oh, it happens all the time to me. A couple. All right. Question 2. You are 1 for 1. All right. 1 point to you. Quote number 2. Even when I think I'm wrong, I'm right. I am all knowing.
I like that quote.
Multiple choice. A, Laura Ingraham. B, Geraldo Rivera. C, Wolfman Jack. Or D, Rush Limbaugh.
I'm going to say that's probably Rush Limbaugh, because that sounds pompous and like something that he would say.
Oh, damn. 2 for 2.
Yeah, that totally sounds like something. I mean, Rush Limbaugh,
I thought I might get you with Geraldo or Laura in that one.
Well, Laura is recent enough that I could picture that, but I thought if it was, I would remember it. But I thought, Rush could have said that like sometime 20 years ago and I wouldn't remember. So I went with that. But yeah, all right. 2 for 2.
All right. Next one. Quote number 4. Losing feels worse than winning feels good. Losing feels worse than winning feels good. Now, is that A, Dick Enberg, B, Vin Scully, C, Rich Eisen, or D, Dan Patrick?
Well, the quote losing. Wait, we'll read the quote one more time.
Losing feels worse than winning feels good.
That's very poetic. And to me, that sounds like something that a really good broadcaster would say. So I'm narrowing it down to Dick Enberg and Vin Scully, because you could picture them very melodically saying that, and it comes out like poetry. I'm going to go with Vin Scully.
Damn it! You got 3 for 3. Damn it! I tried to fool you there. Now the other ones aren't even any fun. All right, all right. Here's the next quote, just because I lost already. Behold, I am Fart Man.
Okay, I don't even need the multiple choice. That's Howard Stern.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna miss the I'm all knowing one, so I'd have a few fun ones.
All right, we'll do one more. Let's see if I can go 5 for 5.
Last one. You will. I am not worried about it at all. Okay, ready? This is a very poetic and important quote in radio and popular culture history. Disco duck.
Oh, Jesus. Well, I did one of my episodes of Listen to This. See, Chris, that's called promotion.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard you.
I played this song where this is a DJ who you actually just mentioned in that middle segment there. This is a DJ who was famous for making this absolutely horrible song, and I played it as a horrible one-hit wonder song. Yep. Disco Duck was done by Rick Dees. If you actually play the song, it is one of the stupidest pieces of music ever recorded, and that's saying something. And he got famous for playing that pile of crap. So that is Rick Dees.
It is Rick Dees. So you would have gotten that one, obviously, and the Vin Scully one I didn't think you were going to get. The funny thing is about that song, Disco Duck, it made him millions of bucks.
That's true. Which, by the way, I'm mad because it's so stupid, but I'm also envious because he did something really stupid, like invent the pet rock, and it made him a millionaire.
I know we need to come up with some sort of parody about a feline or some sort of feathered animal that has to do with like twerking.
Well, I am writing a
Disco
song about
duck.
a cock.
Twerking turkey. Twerking turkey. Twerking turkey. Okay,
It's
that's
such
all
a
right.
good
Anyway,
turkey.
that was
This is Name That Radio Broadcaster.
I failed miserably at trying to stump Eric.
But I went 5 for 5, man. I'm feeling good.
Well, there were only 2 hard ones in there, let's be honest.
Hey, man, when you're as dumb as I am, all of them are hard.
That is true. So, all right, go to thisisfunner.com. Check out all the other podcasts and online content. This again is 321 The Pod, 3 stories, 2 idiots, 1 game. I am Chris Donovan, Chris_Donovan on most podcasts or most platforms. And what's
Most
your
platforms.
Sinatra's I raped?
Well, it's on all platforms for you except for your OnlyFans, which is I like black dudes at OnlyFans.
No, it's actually Dad's Dogs.
That's
Just
it.
my feet for hours.
Yeah, I'm Sinatra's Rat Pack on Twitter and Instagram. And of course, I got Listen to This, the podcast, which is on the This Is Funner network and coming out with season 9 here in a few weeks.
Yep, I got to get to work.
Yeah. All right. Well, everybody, listen to us next week and we'll come with more stories.
And another game. All right, catch you later.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to 321 The Pod. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. See you soon.
Judy was boring.
Hello.
Then Judy discovered ChumbaCasino.com.
It's my little escape.
Now Judy's the life of the party.
Oh, baby, mama's bringing home the bacon.
Whoa, take it easy, Judy. The Chumba life is for everybody. So go to ChumbaCasino.com and play over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.